Welcome back, y'all, to the Why We Move podcast. I'm your host, Ricardo Tepete. I'm here with the one and only DJ Kevin Ngo. He is a great DJ, a great person, a great dancer. Welcome to the Why We Move podcast, Kevin.
Thank you for having me. And before we begin, congratulations. The new star, rising star of Philadelphia.
Thank you.
Bachata champion.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it. Well, I'm very excited to have you on board, man. A lot of people have been asking me, who's next on the podcast. And I think this is going to be an excellent surprise for everybody. So I'm happy to have you. Big shout out to Maddie behind the podcast. Maddie. You're killing it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your help. You've been a blessing. The Why We Move podcast is a podcast dedicated to all the social dancers out there, their journeys, and everybody who's involved on and off the dance floor, making waves on and off. DJs, organizers, instructors, social dancers, performers, anyone that you can think of, we're going to get them on the podcast. So if you think you know of anybody who might be a good guest, or you yourself are one, please hit me in the DMs, email me, message me however you can, get a hold of me because I want to interview you. So Kevin, with the most general and vague question, why do you move?
Why do I move? I think it's the most basic human thing, right? To express ourselves, whether it is in singing, in writing, painting, drawing, some kind of creative way, and dancing is one of them. It's a basic human expression, universal expression. Yeah,
it's something that I think we can all communicate, right? Like you see it, you can feel it. You do it, you feel it. You hear about it, you feel it. It's all very universal, like you say.
Yeah, I did see this on a YouTube video once. That's one thing that is common and universal. One of the few things that common universal across any tribes, any cultural is that dancing. Every culture dances. Every one of them.
Yeah, there's music everywhere, and there's people have bodies, and that's the only two things you need is music and your body.
That's right.
I think about dancing as a form of expression, as a form of therapy, as a form of connecting to myself and the person that I'm trying to, communicate with on the dance floor. I think it's a very humbling, explosive, everything, all the words of the English dictionary can really describe dance, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, which is why this podcast exists, is to hopefully shine the light that stuff like this matters, and it really, there are stories beyond just what you see on social media, on these flashy performances and all these, crazy dips and tricks that people be showing. There's deeper stuff. So I want to get into with you. So you ready?
Let's go.
All right.
I was going to add something, but I wonder where we should wait or just add it now.
Please, go ahead.
While we move, right? You're probably going to cover a variety of dances. But what I do, I specialize in social dancing, meaning partner dancing with someone else. So beside that basic the need to express oneself, also is the need to communicate and connect with someone as well. So it is two parts, right? One is to express oneself and to connect with another human being.
Yeah, that's very important. There's another person in front of you.
Absolutely. And that also introduced issues and problems. But
miscommunication. Right? Beautiful. Well, let's get right into it, Kevin. I'm very excited about this podcast. Let's start it off with your journey in Latin dance and social
the origin
dance.
Story.
Yes, please. Go back as far as you want.
I'll go back. I'll tell you exactly when that is. We'll go back to May of 2000.
Wow.
My high school senior prom.
So about 24 years ago.
Yes, about 24 years ago. I got made fun of by my friends at the senior prom, and I didn't like that. I took it personal. So 3 months later, freshman year in college, opened up the catalog. I believe the course name is KPE 182 or 172, social dance. I was like, I'm signing up for this. I got to learn how to dance.
Nice.
Yeah. Instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Instantly hooked. And the rest is just that. Every semester, I take as many dance classes as I could as a non-dance major. And there's just this hunger and this thirst, just want to learn more and just express my body through different genre of music. And the rest is kind of escalate domino effect into what it is now.
That's amazing. So that's cool. I know there's stories. I can see it in your eyes.
I didn't do it for any woman, any girl. It was just for me.
That's awesome, man. And that's like, I think the beautiful part about it is you started with, because that is really the essence of dance. It starts with you. Because if it doesn't, how are you going to connect with another person? There's got to be two people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's beautiful. I'm very excited to hear about these stories as time evolves. You kind of mentioned it a little bit in how you took as many dance classes as you could. Did you stick to just Latin dance, or did you explore ballroom, tango? Like, can you kind of go into that?
I explored a lot. Like the first course that I took was called social dancing. So we did a little of country, a little waltz, a little foxtrot, some salsa. I'm not sure we did bachata then. We did cha-cha, just a variety, like a sample of dances.
Flavor.
And one of the assignments we had to do, because it's a college course, is that we have to, of course, there has to be some kind of writing component. And our final assignment was that we have to go to a club, Latin club.
Talk about a good assignment.
About it. I'm like, this is the best assignment. Best
Sign me up for
assignment
that.
ever. This was at Cal State Long Beach, so I was not 21 yet. There was a club called JC Fandango. I could go as 18 and over, and I was blown by the experience. I was just so enamored by it. I felt like the one page was not long enough for me to write my whole experience. But after that, I was like, you know what? I want more. Like, you have that hunger, right? I want more. It's not enough. This is not enough. So I just, like a buffet, I ate everything. I joined dance team.
That.
I joined dance team. I perform, I compete. I did jazz. I did ballet, hip hop, flamenco, ballroom, swing, whatever it is that I could get my eye on. Because I realized that every dance teaches me something new, especially about my body, how I can move, how I can manipulate my body. And it's also put me in out of my comfort zone, doing something completely I feel awkward about. But I know that in that process, I'm growing as a dancer.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put yourself through an uncomfortable place and you're going to grow.
Absolutely.
Spread your roots.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially as an introvert.
I would not have guessed that, man.
Oh, it's been a long journey. I was an introvert for, like the first half of my life has been an introvert. Wow. Yeah.
Which is not a bad thing, y'all. Like it's just interesting to be able to now explore the other side of the spectrum of that personality, right?
Yes,
it's a good
different perspective.
Yeah. That's interesting. I can relate with you in the sense of having that fire in you when you started, because people have probably heard my story on this podcast, or eventually will, depending on how these episodes drop. But, it started with me being very quiet, very shy, not exploring what is my personality currently. Of course, everybody evolves as time goes on. But at that time, when I first started dancing, I was 21. I just could not talk to a single person. Like, you asked me to approach somebody and give a good handshake and just make eye contact and say hi, I would just run in the corner.
Wow.
And let alone talk to a woman, because I was just, that shy of a boy, you know what I mean? And it wasn't until my cousin pushed me out in Mexico in Plaza Chapultepec in Guadalajara, where I actually tried dancing for the first time. Nerve-wracking. Like, my brown skin turned red like that. You know what I mean? Like the color of this backdrop over here. And
it's terrifying.
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
But it was such an inspiring moment, because it lit that fire, like you said, under me. And I just got addicted, and I just went all in, and now I wouldn't go back.
You said you started in Mexico?
Yeah.
My debut, my first performance ever was in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for saying Mexico, by the way. That's great. Where in Mexico?
It was in Tijuana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The first team I was in, I think it was called Suavecitos. And the director took all of us down to Tijuana. We performed at a club. Yeah, it was fun. Lots of fun.
I bet, man. That's dangerous, especially you, man, in Tijuana.
No.
I don't know, man.
I was just my dance family doing our thing,
Yeah. No, that sounds like a hit, man. I would love to go back in time and be a part of that. I want to talk about the challenges that you faced along the way. Tell me about from the most maybe to the least challenging things, or any important lessons I should rather say along the way that you've learned that you could share with the folks who are listening or who are watching.
I gotta say though, social dancing has taught me so much things, about life, about people, but most importantly about myself, who I am as a person. I would say that the biggest problem, or the biggest hurdle that I've had for the longest, especially as a dancer, was getting rejected, especially starting off, right? for a guy.
That's heartbreak.
Yeah, you can relate. It made me question a lot of things about myself. You know, I'm like, damn, do I smell? You know, am I not good looking enough? I'm not good enough as a dancer.
That whirlwind.
All kind of questions, right? All kind of questions. And you have to dig deep, you know? And it's a long journey to arrive at the point where I am today now, where I've learned that more than often, it has nothing to do with me or with you as a dancer who get say no to, because there are thousands of possibilities of reasons why a dancer is saying no to a dance. Maybe she's tired, you know, maybe she's with her partner and they have a different dynamics that they want any trouble with. Speaking of which, my first girlfriend didn't like it when I social dance.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard.
I snuck out dancing, which felt so weird, man. I'm like, you know, I don't have to sneak out dancing for my family, yet I snuck out dancing for my girlfriend. Even though I didn't do anything wrong, you know, I just want to dance. That's all I want.
I'm dying, man. I can imagine you just like...
I won't mention her name.
No, yeah, please. I can imagine you putting like a figurine of you in the bed and just like walking out, sneaking out the window. Just
it was scary but exciting at the same time, you know? Anyways, back to what I was saying. It's a journey to discover my own self-worth, my confidence, right? Mm-hmm. What I'm able to bring to the dance floor, who I am as a person, etc. And there's so much that goes into asking someone to dance or having a dance connection with someone that now, when someone say no to me, you know, it doesn't faze me. Mm-hmm. Or even if it does, it probably does for like a couple seconds, and then it hits me. I was like, you know what? It's nothing. Mm. Yeah, I can smile, enjoy the night, nothing. And sometimes I even come back, ask the same person, you know, and knowing that it's not a reflection of me or who I am.
That's brave too, you know, for you to ask again.
Yeah, I'm shameless.
Honestly, bro, you have to be. You have to be. Like,
but I don't push. I don't like to be pushy either.
Right.
That's just harassing someone.
Definitely. Yeah, mm-hmm. we definitely on this podcast we talk about that in every episode. I make it a mission to go into that. I think we can go in a little bit later, but I want to hear more about the story. I think it's very interesting. Just in that story alone, I think being able to express your ability to evolve almost like a phoenix, you know, like it has to set itself on fire to be a phoenix. Mm-hmm. So you kind of did that. You put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and now you are where you're at now, where you're DJing, you're an MC, you're an instructor. You're a hell of a time, man. When I see you out, you're always smiling. It's always a good time. You know, I just want to appreciate you for that. So you've definitely been throughout these 24 years of dancing. I
appreciate that.
You're a great.
Believe it or not, I love all that I do. You know, it's just my passion. I am grateful for every day that I'm able to do what I do. And believe it or not, there is some part of me, the introvert side of me, it's still uncomfortable about putting myself out there sometimes, like emceeing or even teaching sometimes.
Really?
It's still there, you know?
Yeah.
It never goes away completely, but you're able to override that part of you.
Yeah.
And turn that into something pleasant and enjoyable.
Yeah, you're taking the time to learn how to train yourself, right?
Correct.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's great. And so, you know, talking about your current role right now in the dance scene, being an MC, a DJ, and whatnot, can you talk about what that journey was like? Because it's, you know, from what I'm getting from your story is you started out as a social dancer. But what made that bridge to being a DJ?
Yeah, it's a slow evolution, right? I remember I started in college, and after 5 or 6 years, I realized my college didn't have any Latin club, any Latin dancing club. And I tried 1 or 2 clubs on campus, but I didn't feel any of them really speak to me. Can I say the F word on here?
Yeah, absolutely. Go.
So I was like, fuck it. Let me create a club, you know? Yeah. So I did. I started a salsa club at Cal Long Beach. I went, I figured out what paperwork I need to do, gather signatures. I'm like, you know what? Let's start a Latin dance club. I did that. I didn't know how to teach then. I've been dancing for 5 or 6 years at a time. I was like, you know what? I didn't know anyone to teach. I was like, I'll do it. Whatever. I suck at it, you know? But you learn. Like you learn. Absolutely. And it's like, ooh, I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, I can improve. You learn, you get better. And of course, when you teach, it's like you got to play some music, good music. And it's a slow process. And then it's like, there's a party here and there. Oh, can you play some song? And also I listen to, the music every day. I love it. And you after a while you get to know it pretty well. And you're aware of what dancers, what they vibe to mostly. You're in touch with the new music, the old music, etc. And slowly, people start asking you like, hey, can you play at this party and that party? Next thing you know, people slap the title DJ on to you.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah. I'm true. Like, well, I guess I'm a DJ now.
You got crowned it, man.
I'm like, I didn't know when it started, but I guess I'm a DJ now.
Wow.
And of course, you start off more about curating music. And then, of course, when that style slap onto you, I'm like, you know what? I got to learn how to mix. I got to really earn that title, So then you improve and you get better. Same with teaching too. I was like, oh, if I'm teaching, then I need to learn how to teach, etc. I need to improve myself. And then, after 10, 20 years, you get better. I think I did.
You're a great teacher. Great teacher.
Hopefully, right? After you're doing something for 10, 20 years, you get better at it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. It's interesting. I'm hearing you tell your story, and it's I can relate to it very heavily. I was the president of the Latin Dance Club at my college and my university in Portland State University. Shout out to, if you guys are watching, my previous students and or previous students who were a part of that dance club, and the officers and everybody involved with that. One, I apologize because I was not the best president. Honestly, I was working like 3 jobs, taking like 21 credits a trimester because we do trimesters over there. Yeah. And then still somehow making time for this club and then dancing on top of that. So not for any excuse, I think I learned to devote, a certain amount of time to everything that I do with full intention. So, but, it was a good time. I learned a lot, I learned a lot, not only about dancing, but I learned a lot about leading. I learned a lot about organizing, about cooperation and collaboration with others. And it's interesting.
You gain a lot of confidence too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and shout out to CSUOB Salsa Club.
Hey, there you go. Hopefully that's still going on too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
It ended up being one of the biggest club in California, nice. Like state university system. Yeah, wow. We have social. We get like 200, 300, 400 people at the social. That's amazing. Yeah, we had 2 dance teams at one point, and every week we have class. Sometimes we reach over 100 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It was
Congratulations.
Huge, yeah.
I think I checked back in on the Instagram page for the Latin Dance Club back in Portland. They're still going on. So shout out to y'all. If you guys are continuing doing it, please give it all your energy. If you want to invite me back, I'm all in. I'll fly over. I'll come sit in on a lesson with y'all. But anyways, but I started that, not started, but I continued that Latin Dance Club for a couple years, maybe 3 years. Like I had also started to try to get into DJing. I didn't have any money. I was a college student. I was broke, but I had an iPad that I would take notes with in class. Yeah. And even in class, this is how bad I was as a student. Honestly, my senior year, I had really bad senioritis. I would use my iPad and I would have my earphones in.
During lecture.
During lecture, and I would be mixing on the DJ app, I was not good, but I just wanted to play with it because it was fun.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's how but it's interesting because you say that people crowned you a DJ. I'm curious, did you have any other DJ nicknames before DJ Kevin?
No, I mean, I play with some ideas. It's funny names,
Yeah.
Like, what's that a funny one? Chino Suave. Hey. playing off of Rico Suave. I'm like, DJ Chino Suave.
That's amazing.
That's a good one, right? Some other silly names, but nothing really. I'm like, you know what? It's just, they all sound, but for me, it's like, it doesn't sound like me. It sounds a bit pretentious. So I'm like, I just go by my name. That's fine.
Yeah, and people get to know you, your personal brand. It works out. Yeah, everyone who I know, they're like, I ask them like, hey, do you know Kevin? They're like, DJ Kevin. I'm like, yeah, DJ Kevin. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, imagine I switched to like DJ Chisawa, I was like, who the fuck is that? Right. And no one's gonna know who that is. Like, that's fucking Kevin.
But it's endearing, to see you and hear you play with other names. It might be interesting to play with it more.
I do have a drop. Sometimes I drop it just for kicks,
Yeah, that's awesome. I like that, dude.
Yeah.
Bring that back. Chino Suave, I love that. No, no offense, no racial remarks there. Anyways,
no. It's just fun. It just play off of the word Rico Suave. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
let's move into, why social dancing is a big part of your life and what you like about it. And in this form of this question, in your opinion, what sets social dancing apart from other kinds of and styles of dance? Being that you've danced all of them, it sounds like.
Yeah.
What is your take on that?
You got to do it with someone, right? It's not just you dancing however you want, but be able to move in sync with another human being, and able to communicate and work with someone, and you do that on the rhythm. There's a lot of challenges that comes with that, but also, like many things, when you get good at something that's challenging, it's also very satisfying. And they talk of a dancer high, right? When you're able to connect with someone and becoming one with that person and the music. That's what people get addicted to. That's why people keep coming back. I
got chills, man.
Yeah, it's an addiction.
Yeah.
And dancers know this. You keep coming back for it because you can't get enough of it. Yeah. And some nights you get more than other, right? You're able to connect more than other. Yeah. And for me, that's what makes it worth coming back. It's like, you know what? I want more. I want higher dosage. I want a high frequency of that high.
Give it to me, nurse. Yeah. Just give it to me.
So then you take workshop, you go to congresses, you try to get better and, do whatever you can to get more of that hit. Yeah.
Interesting. I'm curious. I want to dive into this a little bit because...
Let's do it.
I know. I'm glad. Thank you for being open. There's a lot of talk on burnout. And
burnout.
Yes. Yeah, burnout. And I think it's obviously it's everywhere, right? In your professional field, in your personal life,
yes,
at home, with your relationships, like everywhere.
Yes.
I think in dance, you kind of see it pretty often because, think about it. We're up late.
Yep.
We go to bed super late. We get up super early for work. It's in the middle of the week. Sometimes there's alcohol involved. There's, hopefully not crazy drugs or whatever people are doing out there, have fun safely is what my mom always says. Diviértete sanamente. So you do what you do. I'm not going to judge, but regardless of all that to say is, our bodies take a toll. And so with burnout being a real thing, can you give your 2 cents on what your experience with burnout has been like, if you've experienced it, and then maybe some insights, some tips or tricks to help others?
I think that is a very common phenomenon, very common cycle with new dancers, right? You get into new hobbies, exciting, and you just go all in. I used to dance 6-7 days a week. I would have dance classes for 2-3 hours a day, and then team training sometime for an extra 3 hours, and you go social dancing for extra 3-4 hours, right? So some days I'll be dancing for nearly 10 hours.
That's a full-time job, man.
Yeah, I know. And I was a student and I was working, better getting sleep. You get burnt out after a while, right? But when you're in it, you probably don't feel it until it hits you.
Yeah.
And before the pandemic, I was doing a lot too. I was doing... oh my God, I was doing average 5 events a week. I also teach classes. I also was in a dance team. I was training with my partner to compete and perform. On top of that, I also had an IT full-time job. I got hired to DJ different events as well, beside the one that I host. So I was putting at least minimum 80 hours a week into work. I'll say between 80 to 100, 110 hours. It was fun, right? But then after a couple of years, I was getting burnt out, man. I remember a few times Kayla would come over. We would practice, and there were times where I passed out.
Damn.
Before she arrived, on her way, I passed out, and I couldn't get myself up to practice.
Whoa.
It was that bad. And there were days where I didn't even sleep, man, for a good 48 hours to go from event straight to work, straight to the events and training. And that was not healthy because I was burning the candle from both ends. And I know that this is not sustainable. So something has to give, right? I'm much more balanced now. I'm much more aware of it. I didn't sleep before. I sleep now.
Yeah.
And it is so important for your emotional, mental, and physical health. I think that's something that, right, individually, people can tell you that, you can hear that all you want, but I think you have to go through it to make that adjustment to make it worthwhile. You have to understand the value of your time and energy.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so much fun, man. It's so hard to say no to a good party, you know?
Yeah.
Especially, you know, your dance crush is going to be there.
There's so many memes out there, you know. It's just like,
Yeah.
you got to make it so your dance crush, like same thing with gym crushes and all that. You got to show up.
Yeah, FOMO is real, you know? Just like, fuck it, YOLO, you know? I don't want FOMO.
I'd like to hear your perspective on, you know, what has changed for you. Obviously, you say you sleep more, but what practices or what rules, I should say, guidelines, boundaries, maybe, have you put up for yourself around dancing that has helped you?
Two things come to mind. One is the emphasis on my health, right? We got one life, we got one body. We got to make the most out of it. Just like if it's a car, right? You wouldn't want to put that car 24/7. It's going to get wear out faster. So I try not to do too many events, and I like to do things that are outside of the dancing thing as well. Different hobbies, different interests. Spending quality time with people who matters in my life. The second thing is as a promoter, as a DJ, as instructors, there is a competitive side to it, right? And when you do something a lot, we tend to derive a sense of self-worth from what we do. And where there competition, we often like to compare ourselves to our competitors. And sometimes I think it's a healthy thing to have competition, but if we don't manage and regulate that in a healthy way, right, where we allow that to affect a question or sense of self-worth, for example, or worse yet, let someone else's success dictates or push us to do or think in ways that are not healthy or not helpful to the community, or to other people, or to yourself, for that matters. It took some big live events for me to realize that, to arrive at this point where I am now, to realize that at the end, it is something that I love to do. It's my passion, and there are plenty of room for other people to succeed in doing what they love, just like me. And just because someone else have a great night, for example, or I don't know, perform better than me in certain aspect, that shouldn't be a reflection of my sense of self-worth, right? I should be able to be happy for that person. If anything, I should look at them like, hey, if I want to, like, what can I do to improve, do better myself as a person, as a DJ, as an instructor, as a promoter, etc. So I would say of all of that has to be the biggest change for me. And it just helped me to be a lot more at peace. Just focus on doing what I love. That's all that matters. And everything else, that's you can't control, you know?
Yeah.
I just focus on me.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. Really well said. Very captivating. Thank you for sharing that, DJ. Or I want to call you DJ Kevin. Kevin. For some reason, in my phone, you're called DJ Kevin, but you're Kevin. You're Kevin.
Oh, good. Call me Kev. That works too.
Kev. All right.
Yeah.
Kev.
Yeah.
No, that I like what you said as well about, in a way, to paraphrase, applauding for other people. You know, I think you'll get your flowers eventually, right? Like everybody gets their flowers, but you can also be there for other people and give them flowers too.
Yes.
Like it takes, that garden is always growing. So you can pluck as many flowers as you want and give as many as you weigh, you know, as long as you water that garden, you make sure that, you know, that garden being your mentality is healthy.
Yeah.
And it surrounds positivity for not only yourself, but other people.
Yes.
And the more flowers you can have, the more flowers you can bear, the more flowers you can give out. So thank you for saying that and sharing that. I think people get, to kind of segue into a different topic of, like, they get very involved in their cliques, in their groups, in their, you know, own self, in their performances or their routines or whatever, and they get distracted. And I think it becomes a toxic environment, you know, when dance becomes something that's only for certain people, or this section of the dance floor is only where the pros dance and like the popular. It's like high school all over again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like I know we're transitioning to a new topic, but I want to bring up this question for you and maybe just get your comments on it. But what do you think is that common? I think idea. This is not on the script, so I know I'm catching you off guard. But what would you say to people who are more involved in the drama of things, in the he said, she said things, and then also like who are involved in the kind of they only hang out with their own group and don't really dance with anybody else kind of people?
I
think I had a mustache hair in my mouth. Sorry, go ahead.
Look, gossip is, believe it or not, but it's essential for human socialization. I've learned that, or at least I learned from other studies or podcasts that I listened to.
Interesting.
You can't stop that, right? People are gonna gossip. People are gonna talk. It doesn't bother me anymore. It used to.
Yeah.
I heard so many things about me. I'm like, damn, that's very creative. I would have never thought of that.
Honestly,
recently, someone told me I had a child. I'm like, who? I do? None I know of. And I knew why. It was a misunderstanding. Anyways, beside that, you can't control that, right? That drama, that's just people thing. You can't control that. The second question that you asked me, I say, go back to the beginning, like when you first started dancing. Where were you? Were you the shit? Were you that incredible dancers?
Ooh, that's spicy.
Yeah, always go back to that.
Yeah.
I know. Selfishness, is a very human characteristic, right? And when it comes to social dancing too, it's a very self-serving, ego-stroking hobby and interest. Right? We do it because it makes us feel good. And sometimes put on the spotlight, etc. And sometimes we get carried away with that, and we forgot where we started in the first place. Now, we all suck at one point, right? We all stuck with the basic. Didn't know how to do a body roll. Didn't know how to cross body. Didn't know how to turn properly, etc. And just because we get better in the process of it doesn't mean that we should look down or frown upon or treat other people like shit who first just started as well.
Honestly, can we get the buzzer on that? Can we get the buzzer on that? Honestly, man, for real. Thank you, Mehdi.
Yeah. If we want, we want to grow the scene bigger. We want to have more people to be part of a community. You can't just I only dance with dancers who are as good at me or better. But then who danced with you when you first started?
Man, that's a humbling thing, right? Because I think it happens to all of us. Like naturally, I think it's a very hard thing to control. It's almost like this whisper in your ear that gets louder and louder as time evolves, as you get better, and you're like, all of a sudden you feel like what you said, you're hot shit. But then you got to remember when those voices were just whispers, and almost like bringing it back, like, hey, chill out. Like you can be nice. It costs $0 to be a good human being.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that you said that. That's very. I think that's probably going to hit a lot of people if you're listening and you're watching right now. Pay attention to that.
And of course, it's okay to enjoy a great dance with someone who's great too, It doesn't mean that you should do charity work every time you go out. I'm not saying that. I'm like, it's okay to balance,
Yeah.
If someone who's not so good asks you to dance or vice versa, you shouldn't reject or turn them down just to so basis like, oh, he or she's not good enough, Now, if the person is being rude or disrespectful, that's a different story.
Totally.
Yeah, but just to not want to dance or hang out with someone just because they're not as good as you, I don't think that's a healthy mindset.
Yeah, and I think it's also damaging to the dance community,
I
because
agree, yeah.
it ends up being, and I think I spoke on this, in previous episodes, but I think it's interesting to remember and to bring up again. And I'm curious to hear your thoughts, but I think about it as almost like the dispersal of a community. If you think about, if we're going to get nerdy on here, like Darwinism, when a certain species, branches out, they become a different species over time.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, that's good for evolving and whatnot. But like, if you think about it in the sense of dancing, when you're just stuck to a community and you don't choose to like branch yourself out, you start to like lessen the dance community. A lot more people aren't going to show up or aren't going to want to learn. It's not welcoming, and it's breeding this kind of negative environment. Again, back to high school, like this popular kids game is one thing I hated about high school, and I hate that it's back up again. And dancing, I'm like, where did I graduate? Like, am I still in hell?
It does feel like that sometimes. Like, I'm like, oh man, I feel like I'm back in high school again or middle school. I was never into the whole sorority fraternity thing. I never felt that was for me, Nothing against it. I think that has to serve its purpose. But I felt like just being an introvert and always being a shy kid growing up, I think I picked that up more, especially now doing what I do as a host. And I think that it does help me in my job somewhat as well, just to do my best to make sure everyone feel comfortable, enjoy, and have a good time.
Yeah.
Of course, I can't do that every night for everyone, but I just got to do my best, and especially when you have like 150, 200 people in a
I commend you. I commend you for that, because Lucha Cartel can get crazy sometimes. But I see you in every corner.
I try.
I appreciate that a lot about you. I want to commend you and give you your flowers, because it shows, and the community sees it. It's like, I think it kind of attributes to your character and your energy. You're very lively, and so I kind of think of you, I hope you don't take offense to this, but I think of you like the Energizer Bunny. Like you're always go, 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 which is cool to see. Like,
no comment.
Like I hope you take care of yourself, which it sounds like you do. But it just goes to show that you like spread that positivity around, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and it's infectious. Just like negative energy, positive energy. Yeah, it tends to spread, right? You make someone spend 3-4 minutes on a dance floor with them, they feel good. Suddenly their energy, their body language, everything change. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And then other people see that change, they feel it, and then that person come and dance with someone else, and next thing it just multiplies, and just the whole club feels good.
So the domino effect.
Absolutely.
Right? Just got to keep that energy flowing. Let's go ahead and continue, DJ Kevin. DJ Chino Rico.
Chino Suave.
Chino Suave, sorry.
Rico Suave. You Rico. Rico, my Rico. Right, my there you go, Rico Suave.
I'm Rico. Let's start with this question. I really like this one, because I think I get so many different perspectives. And I'm curious to hear yours, being a DJ and being a dancer for so long. When you hit the dance floor, how do you select, or how do you choose to connect with the music?
I listen to like salsa bachata every day. I just not because it's my work, it was just because I love it, I'm just vibing, feeling it, and if I get to hear that on the dance floor, I know different parts of the music, what's coming, etc., and I just allow my body to express with the changes that I hear in the music with my partner, of course. And sometimes you don't always get to execute it perfectly or the way that you had imagined or envisioned, right? We all do that, guilty of that. We listen to a song and in our head, we're doing the most incredible, unhumanly imaginable things. And then you get on a dance floor and you realize that, I can't turn her 50 times in 2 counts, Right.
Yes.
But you let go. You learn to just embrace and feel the music, be in the moment, and I think I say this, speak for everyone too, is that in that short time frame that you are out dancing, especially when you have a really good partner and really good song and you connect really well, everything seemed to just disappear. Right? Everything is gone. As you get this tunnel vision, you are completely mindful in the moment, and it's a beautiful thing. Like, again, we go back to what we were saying earlier. This is the drug. This is the highs. This is the endorphin. This is all the good stuff that we come back for.
It all is grounding, right? It all goes to one single point. It's almost like this feeling, this burning sensation that you feel, that you experience. It's like it's past the physical. It's past the mental. It's very spiritual in a way, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, very cool.
I think in some school of thought, they call it you reach that peak performance, right? You're in the flow.
Flow state.
Yeah, you're able to do things effortlessly when you're in that flow
that.
state.
I love that. That's really cool.
Yeah.
From your perspective, being in, and experiencing this flow state and this, understanding this almost path to mastery of dance, because I don't think you ever really truly reach mastery. You're always on the path to, right?
Yes.
I think, and we're all learning, I think I'm curious to hear if you could really boil down, and this is maybe a big question, but if you could boil down all the years of you dancing, what constitutes the main lessons or the cornerstone of lessons that you've learned that you can pass on and communicate to the folks listening or watching?
Plural, right? Not singular.
No,
thing.
yeah, you can do one, or you can do
Because-
many.
Yeah, that'd be difficult to boil it down to one thing. First thing that comes to my mind is attitude, right? Our attitude, our mindset when we start off doing something oftentimes determines not just the outcome, but the journey that we embark upon. So I think having a positive attitude, a mindset when you go into whether a class or social or about your whole journey, that matters tremendously. Second thing is compassion. Yeah, compassion for yourself and compassion for other people. Right? Sometimes we can be quite hard on ourselves, like, oh, I suck at this, I suck at that, I can't do this. Yeah, I realize it's a learning process. Everybody suck at it, and you get better eventually at some point, hopefully. And everybody starts at some point, right? If you compare it to someone who has, let's say, have ballet background for 10 years, and you should start dancing at 30s, man, you might not be able to catch up to that person ever. But that's not how you measure success, right? You measure success based on the starting point that you started off, not someone else's starting point. And I think that's all that matters. Like, are you a better dancer today than you were yesterday? Well, better, yeah, you're a better person because of this passion that you embark on than you were yesterday or last month.
Amazing.
Yeah, that matters. And lastly, it's just have an open-minded mentality, right? You think you're good, record yourself. You're not that good. How many times have we recorded ourselves? I'm like, damn, that's bad.
Yeah.
In your head, like, I think I look so much better. And you watch yourself in the video. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, and your face is like,
Yeah. So there's always things to improve, man. Sometimes I watch myself, they record some video. I was like, damn, that's what I do with my hand, that's what I do with my hips. Like, just learn from it. You improve upon it. And just don't take it too seriously. Just enjoy. It's supposed to be a fun thing.
It's very important to hold on to that. I think I spoke to Miguel Baez on one of the podcast episodes that just launched not too long ago, where he was talking about the effort of being present, of being, what is the word we used? It was mindfulness.
Yep.
And I think that's probably what I think about the most whenever I go out dancing.
Yeah.
And I think about either, something that I can give as a gift to somebody or gift to myself. It's just being mindful and being present in that moment, because it's gone. After that song is over, it's gone.
Yeah.
You can't recreate it. You can do your best to recreate it, but it's never going to be there. And that exact moment, that exact place, that exact moment in time is gone forever after that.
I came across that mindfulness, I think like 4 or 5 years ago. I learned more about it. I'm trying to practice that more too. And it's a beautiful thing to practice, especially it applicable to all aspects of your life, But when you apply that to dancing too, it just makes things so much more beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, this has been a wonderful conversation, Kevin. I know we didn't get to all the questions here, but I think, a lot of people can walk away from this podcast, with a lot of good, mental notes for themselves, be it beginners or advanced dancers. I know I, for one, am. And so I appreciate you sharing that with me. And
my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
If you're comfortable with people, following you on social media, where can people find you and connect with you online?
Oh, super easy. Instagram, Facebook. Just put in DJ Kevin Ngo. DJ Kvin, Kevin, no weird spelling. And Ngo is spelled Ngo, Kevin Ngo, Bingo.
Nice. I like that.
His name is Kevin Ngo.
You got all the phrases, man.
You can't forget it now.
I love it. Yeah, no, never. Awesome. And do you have any other platforms that you want to share with folks?
You say, I'm sorry, platforms?
Platforms. I know you run Dance Republic.
Oh, yeah. I run Dance Republic. A different page is DJ Kevin Ngo. Just host event all over Philadelphia. Love Park. We're starting back up at the end of June. Outdoor dancing.
I'm excited
free
for that.
Live band.
Yes,
Everything is free.
Y'all got to come check it out. Big shout out
super
to Kevin
fun.
for doing that. Yeah.
Just this new event, collaboration with other promoters, instructors and DJs in the region. Anything you find, you can find through a Dance Republic page or DJ Kevin Ngo page.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Any shout outs that you want to give to anybody?
Oh my God, so many shout outs to my Dance Republic dance team.
Nice.
They're working hard, and that's the second season.
I seen it. Yeah, y'all are killing it. Good job.
Yeah, definitely to all my artists that I work with, photographer, instructors, DJs, just Central Movement, New York, Jeff and Myra, I don't know, Philadelphia, all the dancers.
Yeah.
The family back in California.
There we go.
Yeah, awesome. All my exes. No, I'm kidding.
No, especially the one who didn't catch you when you snuck out, right?
I'm kidding.
That's amazing, man. Any last additional thoughts or insights you want to share?
Oh my God. And since we started conversation, I have like a million thoughts crossing my mind. I do have a few thoughts. One is that if you're in this, whether you started or you're in this for, months or years or what have you, try to learn as much as you can from many people as possible, and don't let anyone, any studio owner or any instructor, anyone that limit your learning, your journey in learning. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand.
Yeah,
I never understood it, I was like, oh, you have to go here. You can't go anywhere else. I'm like, no, it's you as a dancer. You're a paying customer, You, the more the people you learn from, the better you are going to be as a dancer, as a student, as whatever it is that you do.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing that I have to say is just learn as much as you can from as many people as you can. Mm-hmm. And anyone that's trying to control you, you should question, what's their motive, right?
Yo, that's going to be a whole nother episode for sure. I got to get you back on that for that one.
Do what you love. It's your money. It's your journey. It's your
time.
It's your thing. Do you.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much, Kevin. I really appreciate your time.
My pleasure. I feel like we need 2 more episodes of this.
Yeah. Honestly, we need to do something else. This is something creative, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Absolutely. So with that, y'all, thank you again for tuning in. This has been a very special episode. As always, if you see us out dancing, save us a dance. See you next time. Hey.